This is a demonstration of the CCI Trendline Break indicator from TradeStrat. Just a quick overview, the indicator finds trendline breaks on the CCI between that and the CCI average and places up arrows or down arrows on the chart. I'm going to go over to a simpler chart to explain the mechanics behind it. Here's gold. So basically you've got the CCI dotted here, and the CCI average is the solid gray line. And in this case here, looking for a short trade, when the indicator finds a higher low, it draws a line between those 2 points, and once the average intersects it, it will put an arrow on your chart indicating a short position. Same thing in the other direction. It looks for, in this case, you've got a pivot here and then a lower high pivot, so it'll draw a line there, and once the average crosses and breaks that line, the trend line break, it'll put an up arrow on your chart. So let's look at some charts now. Here's a chart of crude oil futures, the 640 tick, and at the bottom we've got the indicator. You'll notice the solid line is the average and the dotted line is the CCI, and the program automatically draws the pivots and then draws a connecting line. And anytime that line is broken by the average, it'll put an arrow on the chart. So right here you've got right here these two lines connected, a pivot and then a lower high, a line's drawn, average comes back through there, draws an up arrow. Same thing on the other side when you've got a pivot down here and then a higher low pivot, it'll draw that line. Once the average crosses that, you'll see a down arrow. So some nice trades today on crude oil. Here's a 128 tick chart of the Euro futures. Same idea, you've got the trend lines on the automatically drawn on the chart in the lower indicator panel, and then up top you've got the arrows showing when the trend line was broken. A few nice trades on the Euro today. This indicator works on stocks, futures, and the Forex market. This is a 60-minute chart, so it also works in any time frame. This is a 60-minute chart of Microsoft, and you can see up to the left side of the chart here we've got a signal to go short, and that continued for quite a ways until the trend line was broken again, and there's a long signal, continues for quite a ways, and then a short signal again. Ended up being some consolidation, but a couple of nice trades on Microsoft. Here's a 5-minute chart of the S&P E-mini. I drew an opening line marker here. Price opened up today, quickly sold off. Again, I saw that rounding bottom and got a signal right after that to go long. So the trend line was broken down here, and that was a nice trade, followed up right into lunchtime hour, in which we got the reverse signal. I would not have taken that reverse signal as it was going into lunch. That was that move was plenty. Looking at 9 points. And of course this can be configured if you like your charts to have a black background. This is the Russell futures today and some live trades I took. Here's another indicator we have. It's nothing special, it's just an opening range marker to show me the high and the low of the opening range, and a band here to remind me. Yellow is if we're in the opening range, green is above it, and then red would be below the opening range, just to sort of, I bias my trades on that. So what I saw was a double bounce off of the opening range high. I actually missed that. I had stepped away from the computer, but I got in on a lower high, got two targets off, one at 5, one at 8 ticks. Same thing happened again later. This one I took down for 10 ticks. So two nice trades this morning. Let's go through some of the settings. To access the indicator settings, you just right-click on your chart, select indicators. Very straightforward. You've got your CCI length and your average length. I use 8. A lot of people use 14 or 20. There's an option here to filter out trades near the zero line. I find the trades are a lot more high probability when they happen away from zero. Near the overbought or oversold areas, so you can have this on or off and see all the trades or filter out the trades. This is the marker offset, so if you want the markers further away from price, you can just increase the number here. If you want it right on price, you just put a 0 in here. Pivot strength is the number of bars that need to form to show the pivot, so you can change that to show more or less pivots. There's an option here to show the CCI cross. There's an alternate strategy that some people use. I'll just put that on really quickly. I'm going to turn thermite off. I'll show you that next. Some people trade the CCI simply after it's gone into overbought, oversold, and then the average crosses down. A lot of people just find entries there, so I've made that an option here you can turn on, and if there is a cross in overbought and oversold, you just get a little dot where that cross happened, and either way, short or long. There's another option here to turn on something called thermite. A friend of mine was talking about CCI crosses with me and trendline crosses, and he noticed that whenever two trend lines intersected, something seemed to happen right after that. So I'll show you right here. Basically, this dot shows me that these two trend lines intersected. In this case, this was just a continuation higher. Nothing really happened here. But I look for these around consolidation areas, and when I see them there, I know that a breakout is likely, a breakout that actually goes somewhere. So in this case, we had the small consolidation and price eventually broke down. I forgot to mention there is an option here to turn your audio alerts on and off. So right here you can plug in any audio file you choose, or just use the default Ninjatrader audio alerts, and then here you can turn it on and off. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and that you find it useful in your trading.